did you get the lead from Richard, and how did you get it back from him?
Well, I had the lead there for one lap or 2 laps, I guess. I just drafted him down the front straight and just was able to pull on the inside of him in turn 1 and outbrake him a little bit and get by him. The draft really helped me get by him.
What happened on that last lap? How did he get her back around you again? Because when he got back around you, he really opened up a gap there and you couldn't quite make it back.
There was one point, I think it was after turn 5. Yeah, after turn 5, I got back on the gas a little bit too hard, and the bike slid a little bit. That slowed me down, and there was one other time where my bike hopped from 5th gear to a neutral in between 5th and 6th, and that slowed me down a little bit too.
And couldn't quite get back into it, could you?
Couldn't quite get back. I think maybe if we had a couple more laps, I would have been able to get a little bit closer, but I was trying my hardest.
A good run by a rider relatively unknown. How did you get started racing, and how did you find out about the series?
Well, I found out about the series, I guess, last October or so. A couple of my friends went to the motorcycle show, and they brought me back these pamphlets, AFM Interceptor Series, because I had an Interceptor at the time, and I wanted to start racing this year. I was going to race an RZ 350, but I had my Interceptor. I was used to it. I decided that the series looked good, and I decided that I'd do it. This is my first experience racing. This is my 6th ever race today, and yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like you're having a great time. We'll let you go right now. We have Ron Sweet up here, the guy who finished 2nd in that great Honda Interceptor race, and of course last month there was a great race as well. Let's get into word for your sponsors, if you've got any.
I don't have any sponsors on my bike. I'm adjusting the valves and everything. A friend of mine changed the tires for me, but otherwise I'm doing everything myself.
That may not last long after the way you've been riding. Okay, well, good luck to you the rest of the year, and a good 2nd place, and of course a great race last month. Any impressions on that race last month?
That was a really great race. That was really close all the time. I had a little more trouble last month than I did this month. I was going a little too fast in turn 4, more than 1 lap, and I had a little trouble, but that was really something. That was a really exciting race.
Good luck to you, Ron, the rest of the year.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ron. Okay, out in front, Roloff, as they come by the start-finish line, first time around, looks like Roloff is going to have a great battle now with Doug Tolan. Doug Tolan, of course, in the 750 class, Roloff in the open class. Okay, Tolan and Roloff, and this is going to be a great race between these two as they hit around turn number 2. Okay, we know what happened a couple of races ago when Roloff won by about 2 or 3 seconds over Tolan, who finished 3rd. Marty Sharp was Tolan could get around him, and that would be quite a feat because Roloff, a very talented rider in his own right, and he's on a bike that's 250 cc's larger than Tolan's. But of course, you're going to see Tolan take advantage of that in the turns, and you're going to see Roloff take advantage of his horsepower on the straightaway. But we don't see the advantage here. Tolan keeping right up with Roloff as they head around the fastest part of the racetrack. This is very interesting. 750cc and a 1000cc bike out there, and they're just powering around about the same speed. In fact, Tolan coming into turn number 9 is creeping up a little bit on Roloff as they come out of turn number 9. Is Tolan on the 750 going to get around Roloff? This would probably be the biggest upset of Roloff, and it's Corral, if he had a bike slower than him, pass him, and it looks like he's going to do it. Tolan gets right alongside Roloff as he heads into turn number 1. And Roloff holds him off. But Tolan looks like he's ready to pounce. This would be absolutely embarrassing for Roloff to have a rider on a smaller class get around Roloff. That never has happened to Earl, I don't think, in his whole career.
Anyway, wait.
Roloff's got the lead. Here goes Tolan on the inside, and he outbreaks Roloff and takes over the lead. Tolan now has the lead. Let's see if Roloff could come back now down this back straightaway and draft him. Of course, you know he's got the power to draft on by him. Tolan is so far is holding him off. Roloff now starting to creep just a little bit closer. Look at Tolan hold him off. I can't believe the engine discrepancy is at least 250 cc's. And we've got a 750 in second spot. Here they come down the front straightaway, and Tolan pulling away. Marty Sharp running there in third spot. Can't believe it either. In fourth spot, it's 2:57. That is Scott Johnson. Roloff still holding off, or I should say Roloff in second spot. Tolan still holding off Roloff as they go up on top of the hill. This is going to be an awfully close race. I think with Tolan, though, Tolan is an excellent rider.
42.
And I don't think it would do Roloff good to kind of hold back to the last lap and follow him around a bit.
We just got, he's still not a member. Congratulations, Brennan.
Down that back straightaway, you would think you'd see Roloff starting to pick it up a little bit, but he doesn't do it quite that much. Marty Sharp's got a very lonely ride in third spot. We got a great race there in fourth between Scott Johnson, Walter Nito, and Curtis Adams running third, fourth, and fifth. Here come your leaders. Doug Tolan sees to stretch it out coming down the straightaway. Roloff can't believe his eyes.
854.
Okay, they just turned a 134.9, a 134.9, which is about 95.7 miles an hour. 95.7 miles an hour for your leaders. That's Tolan and Roloff. Well, when the AMA a couple of years ago tried this formula of changing the superbikes from 1,000 cc's to 750, they thought they were going to do it as a safety reason and slow the bikes down, but a few years later technology has caught up to the 750 bikes, and now they're running just as fast as the 1,000 cc bikes, and proof of that is running out here today. And of course you go to an AMA National, superbikes did a couple of years back, so it didn't slow them down somewhat. Technology sooner or later catches up to them. And of course the handling and the suspensions on these bikes have a lot to do with it. Down that back straightaway again, it's still Tolan. Let's see if he can hold off Roloff this time. Down that back straightaway and into the kink. Marty Sharp still in third spot. Then that great race between Scott Johnson, Walter Nito, and Curtis Adams in third, fourth, and fifth. Here they come out of turn number 9. It seems like Tolan gets a great drive out of 9 because he gets enough distance between himself and Roloff. Roloff can't make a play for him on this straightaway. And there goes Tolan coming by, and Roloff just that much farther down. He seems to lose inches every lap to Tolan. We want to mention right after this race, you fans up on top of the hill, that Nancy's up there right now on the hill, and she's got 2-for-1 Budweiser beers up there, so if you buy one can, you'll get the other one free. It's ice-cold Budweiser and sodas also on top of the hill, and Nancy's up there right now to service your... Okay, Scott Johnson and Walter Nito putting on a race-long duel here for fifth spot. Nito cannot find his way around Johnson. this whole time, as your leaders now around turn number 2, Tolan still holding off Roloff as they come up some lap traffic between 2 and 3. They get around the lap traffic and Tolan still holding off Roloff around turn number 3 as they go up the hill. Tolan on that cycle-tuned FZ750, right, who was entered in the open class. And of course, Roloff will win the open class easily, but the embarrassment of losing to a 750 bike would be too much for Will to take, and he better start making his decision on what he's going to do about the problem that he's got out there ahead of him right now, because they're coming up on the white flag lap. I don't think Roloff has ever lost to a smaller displacement machine since he's been racing in the club races, and he's about to do it now if he can't find a way to get around Tolan. Here they come. They're going to get the white flag lap. They've got just a little over 2.5 miles to decide this thing. Let's see if Roloff can do anything about it now. They both see the white flag, and Roloff knows he's got to make a play this time around. There he comes up on him. He's got a lot of power coming up on Tolan. It looks like he could have been playing with Tolan those first 5 or 6 laps, because look at Roloff going out. He's right on the rear wheel of Tolan. And between 1 and 2, he's going to try and make a pass. He goes to the outside, and Tolan cuts him off. Roloff's going to try and go the long way around the outside, but Tolan's going to hold him off going around these turns. We're sure Tolan should be able to hold off Roloff until they get down the back straightaway. We'll find out. They come up into turn number 3, and they both brake very, very hard, and Tolan's still going to hold off Roloff as they hit around on top of the hill, up to 3 and 4. All right, keep your eyes on these guys when they come down the back straightaway. Let's see if Roloff has been was cruising it and holding off Roloff, and it looks like it'll be that way until they crest the top of the hill and go down that back straightaway. Tolan now trying to find every ounce of horsepower he can on that cycle-tuned FZ Yamaha. Here they come down that back straightaway and into the kink. Let's see if Roloff goes on by him. This is his last chance. They've got about 1,000 yards to go. There goes Roloff. He can't quite cut into the lead of Tolan. Let's see if he's going to try and pick it up on the draft coming into turn number 9. This is not where Roloff would want to be. I don't think he's going to take it. I think Tolan's got enough to hold him off as they swing right out of turn number 9. Tolan's looking around. I think that might have been a mistake. Here comes Roloff, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Tolan's going to hold him off for the win. Whew, that was close. And an embarrassment for Roloff. He finishes second, but he wins the open class very, very easily. Marty Sharp gets second in class, third overall. Finishing in... okay. Looks like Scott Johnson. No, Scott Johnson dropped back. Walter Needle finally took Scott Johnson there on the last lap.